Okay. Now let's get to this class. So in the last class, we treated HTML. Can anybody just give us a recap of everything we've done? Since I didn't about to give us assignment on time, but I apparently gave us an assignment yesterday. So let me hear us like what we did in the last class so that we can continue from there into this class. Anybody?
What is it, sir?
I said, can we have a recap of what we did in the last class? So
Okay, we talked. You told us about HTML table. We did table. We did form, and we did CV. And you gave us an assignment. You said we should create our own CV, and we should push it to GitHub. But the problem I'm having now is this: I don't know how to push it to GitHub. I have a GitHub profile, but I don't know how to push it inside. So I don't know.
GitHub actually has a drag and drop on part of it. I can just drag and drop whatever you've done. I'll teach us how to use GitHub in the next class by God's grace.
Okay, yeah.
That will be on Monday.
So how
then you can easily drag and drop. You can easily do drag and drop for GitHub.
Okay, no problem then.
Just check it how to do drag and drop on GitHub. Or better, I'll show you now.
Okay.
I'll show you now. Let me just quickly send the link to the class, to the group page. Moving on. Okay. Let me click open my GitHub account here. So GitHub. So here's my GitHub account. So here is the class, IT class. I got it, IT class. This one is for the data science stream. So for example, if I want to add file, now I can come here. Okay, let me just create a new repository. Let me call it Frontend.
I'm not seeing your screen at all.
Oh, sorry, I have not shared my screen. Sorry. Sorry, it's my bad. I forgot to share my screen. Can I see my screen now? Can you see my screen? Yeah, I can see your screen. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want to show you how to do drag and drop for GitHub. Then on Monday, I will show you some basic things about GitHub. So here is, I have 44 repositories right now. So here's all my repositories. This is why I said we should use GitHub is if you check my landing page here, you can see the number of codes I've pushed this year. I've pushed 64 this thing. I've made 64 contributions this year. So here is everything I've done this year, scattered around like that. Because some of the work I do, I cannot really push them to GitHub like that, depending on what the clients request for. So that's why we have everything scattered around like this. So by the time, okay, maybe you start pushing your code to GitHub today, then from now till the end of this class, so you have enough things. So even if an employer comes to you like, oh, send us your portfolio, you have something, a link to your GitHub that you can send to them. So they see, oh, this guy is actually active on GitHub and the likes like that. So even beyond the class, try to push your code to GitHub. So let me show you how to create a repository. So here is all my repositories. Then I create a new repository. So let me call it ASUU undergraduate front end class. So I've created this repository now. I've made it public. If you don't want anybody to see your code, you can make it private. But then there's nothing to hide here. So I've made it public. So I just filled all that up. Then I create repository. So here's the repository now. Then if I want to upload the existing file, so I can just click this here. So I can drag and drop anything I want to drag into here now. So let me just go to, okay, where is the files we'll be using for this class? Where is it located? Okay, it's located on my desktop. So I can go to my desktop now. So let me go to my downloads, then desktop, and we have, where is it now?
The second one.
Okay, second one. We have all this. I could have dragged the whole folder, but then I just want to drag all this. So I'm dragging all this to my browser here. So I can just reduce, so just reduce the size of the browser, drag it to this side. Then I drag all the files that I have here in here. So that's drag and drop. You don't even need to use your full screen back. Then I can call the commit. So I can say first commit. So it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just to be able to track what, even if you want to come back later and check what you've done. So you can see first committed. So let's say after today, now I push the code of today's class to GitHub again, and I can call down one second commit and the likes like that. You get it? So your code is automatically on GitHub like this.
Okay.
So then you can share the link to this code. So this is the link to this code here. You can just copy it and paste for us. So this is what I'm expecting from us. The code, the link to the GitHub repo where you committed your code. So that's what I'm expecting from us. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
If you don't get it, talk. I'm seeing some messages here. Good afternoon. I just joined. Hope I have not missed much. I'm presently lost. Oh, Jesus. Please go and check the last video on YouTube. I'll look for the link and post on the comment section now. So you can just watch that, because if you don't understand that, you can't understand what you are doing today. But if you are in the last class, then you've not missed anything. I'm just showing people how to submit the assignment. That's what I just did. So in case you're in the last class, you can just go to the group page now and then copy the link to, and click on the link to the YouTube page so you can join from the beginning. So just join it from the middle here. But then you can check the group page too. Scroll back up for the link to the last class on YouTube. So I won't have to delay anybody in this class. So having said all that now, okay, let me create a new tab. I actually have a lot of tabs open here. So let me just close this, close this. Okay, I'm using the other tab. So let me just copy the link to this one, the link to this one. So HTML. So let me just copy the link. Okay, copy path. So I'm going back to my browser now. Then I paste here. So this everything. No, this is not home. Okay, copy the link to the about page. So this is everything we did in the last class. So let me just do this. So I have this one here, then I have my code here. Are we all on the same page now? Hello, are we all on the same page? Okay, so let's get to work today. So today I want to treat what's it called now? Introduction to CSS, but then we have some things that we've not done in the last class. Let's just do those things. So let me just ask some questions in this class. What is HR tag used for?
Horizontal line.
Yeah, but the full meaning of that HR is horizontal. Then what about center?
Remover is subject to the center of the page.
Okay. Then what about BR?
Break tag.
Break
BR,
tag.
BR.
Break tag.
BR. I don't know how to pronounce R well. So R for root, R for rat. BR.
Break tag.
Break tag.
Okay.
Break.
What about EM?
Emphasis.
Emphasis.
What does the emphasis tag actually does to your code?
Kind of.
EM makes your
not
distance slants.
Yes,
exactly.
What about I tag?
Also italics.
What about A tag?
That?
A tag.
Anchor tag.
Anchor tag.
Okay. Since you guys are brilliant, we don't class here. Then what about UL tag?
Another
list.
What about OL tag?
Ordered list.
I don't fear all of them for this class. What about P tag?
Paragraph.
What about TR tag?
That?
TR.
TR.
Yes. You said?
Small.
Okay, let me wait for you guys to think.
Table.
Yeah. Smart one.
Table.
Okay. What about IMG tag?
Email tag.
Possible solutions. So you thought about it, right?
Sorry, someone is having some sound from the background. So let's move on from there. Okay, there is one bit other thing I wanted to show us the last time. We did forms now.
Yes.
Okay, let me just add one more input so that we can move on from there. So forms, we are using, what's it called now? We are using Visual Studio Code. You have all these things for you. So if I say image, then source. Source should be their navigation and the likes, but then don't let me use image, let me just use file straight. So you guys can go and check this whole thing out yourself. Then inputs file. So here it is. So now I can call it any name. Choose file. Choose. So I save that and I come back here to refresh. And I go to what's it called now? Contact us page. You can see select file. So we go here, you can select any file you want. So let's say I go to my doc downloads and I select this file. And before we go, let me even talk about this funding thing because it's really getting to my neck now. Okay, then we talk about that. So I've imported this thing. So I didn't mean we have a backend now. You can easily save whatever we have to our backend. Then the submit button. Let's say we want to submit our files now. Just go to submit. Submit. That's input. Then we call it button. Then type. It's supposed to be submit actually. Submit type. Submit. Then value you can say submit. Submit. So if I save this and I come here and refresh, you can see there's a submit button there. So you can see when I press the submit button, it takes us back to the index page. Let me go back again so that we can see what actually happens. Okay, this contact us page. So here is everything. Let's say I have my name, Abbas Olaya. Then I have my email, ayotundeolaya@gmail.com. I have my gender as male. And I love football. I love chess. I love coding. I love music, and I love eating. I guess I wrote all the things I like here the last time. Then the color that I want, I can say I want blue, green, whatever color I want. So I could have just come here. So if it's this color here that I need, so I pick that one. I say okay. Why is it not picking? Okay, it's picking there. So I can pick this color here now. So okay. Then I come here, I put my password. Let me just put any password here. So then I browse for a file, and then if I submit, see what it's told you to do. The action take us to index.html page. Then what is the method we want to use? Post. So we are posting to the backend, but then we don't have backend here. So just take us to the HTML page. You can see it's already asking me if I want to save the password, but don't save. That's what I'm pressing. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me quickly import the image. Let me just copy one image and bring it here. I want to talk about the funding for this class. I beg. Since entering my neck already, I have to use my money to buy data today. Okay, let me copy this. Copy. Then desktop, ASUU class. Then let's put inside the image folders. Image folder and put it here. Then I can easily minimize. Then it's already dead then. So I can just import image. Where was it? Oh, okay, we're importing image in index file. So let's come back here and let's import that image. So ing and source is ing/funding.jpg. Then alternative name is funding. So we do that, then we'll come back here and refresh. And so here is this too big actually. Let me just maximize the page so that we can see the whole thing. Can we see the whole thing here now? It's too big. Oh man, this is big. I don't know if we this one. Okay, then let me do quick tag here. Let me put quick tag here. BR tag and BR tag. BR. Save that. to send you and refresh. Send, yeah. So here it is. So here is the whole detail that we need. So please help share this on your social media. I've sent it to the WhatsApp page. Help share this on your social media pages. And I've actually done an estimation that if everybody pays 1,095 naira, that's if everybody pays or pay above that, then we'll have enough money to run this class. Because the actual plan I have for this year is to run a class for teenagers, that's 13 to 19. I guess I mentioned it in induction class. So my actual plan for this year was to run a 13 to 19, a class for them. That's during this year summer period. But then if I spend for my own money, if I spend 302 now, because I've been able to gather 82,000 naira from different people. If I spend 302,000 naira from my account now, to go back and do the teenagers class will be a bit somehow for me. So that's why I'm asking and I'm begging, I'm pleading with everybody, please, in case you can squeeze out any money from your account, I beg, squeeze it out. Even if it's just 2,000 naira, 5,000 naira, even if it's just the 1,095 naira, please just pay into this account or my personal account. I learned that people don't want to pay into personal account, was why I wrote my business account out for them to see so that they can pay into the business account. Then I'll be able to sort out how to move it out of the business account to another account that we can use for this class. So please, I beg, let's generate this fund so that it won't affect the actual plan that I have for the year. I guess I've told us the reason why I organized this class. The reason is when I had the same strike you guys are having now, that was in my part 1. We had 6 months strike. I thought we were going to resume the next week, and the next week did not come till after 6 months. And I did not learn anything. I didn't get anything for those period of time. That's why I'm organizing this class so that you guys won't just waste your time. Be able to gather a skill that you can use in the job market. But then don't allow the class to come and choke me, I beg. So please, this class is actually free, but then please let's pay up so that we can have enough money to host the teenagers by that's August, September. And please, if you are in Ibadan and you can volunteer to be part of, because I hope that will be a physical class for people in Ibadan. Then people in other states can join online. So please, if you are in Ibadan, you have time to volunteer around August, September. That's during their break. This is their 3rd term, 4th term break. So if you are in Ibadan, please, you can volunteer by just sliding to my DM and messaging me about on what capacity you would like to volunteer. And we need to raise money for that class to go. But then I've been able to secure venue and I've been able to put some things in place. But then we still need some money for some things. Because I would like to give gifts to outstanding students in that class. So I have a budget for that class already. But then don't allow this class to now chase me from doing that class. So please, I beg, let's do what's needful, I beg. Thank you very much. So moving on to today's class now. So today's class, we are supposed to do, what's it called now? We are supposed to do, what was it? Someone remind me the topic of today's class.
Introduction to CSS.
Exactly. We are supposed to start CSS today. So CSS, there are different ways we use CSS actually. We have the inline CSS, we have the external CSS, and we have the header CSS. So let me do inline CSS now. Is there any problem? Any problem?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so here now, inline CSS, let me just style this, our funding graphics that looks very big. So you can see style. Then we have background color. So we have let's use width. Width equals, let's say 10 pixels. Then height. Wait, am I spelling height right? Heighth. I mean, someone spell height for me. Height is not correct.
Height.
I was correct now. Okay, I was expecting intelligence actually. So height. Auto. Let's do auto for height. So let's save that. Let's refresh our page. You can see the image is now very small. See what we have here. That's the image there. So if I increase the height width to 10 now, sorry, I increase the width to 100%. I don't know why it's also. You can see the height increased. I mean, the width increased. I put the height on auto, but then since I know the image that the reason why I said auto is in case the ratio of the image is different. Okay, let me use something like this. So I say style, then I say width equals let's say 100 pixel, then height, height equals let me do auto first. Auto. Let's save, then refresh this page. Refresh. I beg you ask me this question again. You can see our image that the auto allowed it to be the ratio it should be. But then if I now mistakenly, because I don't know the ratio of this height to width, if I now mistakenly say 100 for the height, 100, you see pixel, you see what will happen now. Refresh. Yeah. You can see the image is stretched. Let me increase it to, let's say 300. So we'll see exactly what I'm saying. And I refresh. Send. I don't know if you are seeing what I'm saying. Like the image is now stretched, like the height, so that the height and the width will be equal. It is stretched. But then if I use auto, it will maintain the ratio. Are we getting it? See the normal ratio now. So to just automatically calculate the height if the width is going to be 300. Do we get it? We don't get to talk now.
So I get.
Oluwafumilolayo, do you get it?
No, sir.
I can see your face that you are not getting, but yet you are not saying anything. Okay, let's move on. Let's dwell a little bit more on this. What I'm saying in essence is, I've even jumped the styling thing that I want to do now. The style for the image, this image now, the ratio of the height and the width. Like for example, this is our JPEG here. This is our funding this thing. If I change that one to 300, if I refresh, if I save, and I refresh here, if I refresh here, you can see the size of the image actually increased and the width increased. If I change this one to 300, so because the ratio of the height and the width is equal, 300 pixel. Because the ratio of the height and the width is equal, it will not affect anything here. See, it's not affecting anything. But then when we get to this image here, this one, the height is width is 300. If we change the height to 300, because the height is not as big as the width, but now we are making them equal. So this thing will automatically make them equal. But then you now distort the image. See this hand of this boy as long as it is. I don't know if you are getting me. So it's better if you want to do height and width for images. That's just we should give one of the parameters and set the other one to auto, so that we maintain the ratio of the height and width. So you are?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was saying something about inline CSS. So this inline CSS now, for example, this is our anchor tag. Our anchor tags are here. So I could have said, okay, anchor tag here. I could have said style. Then I say background color. Background color. I can set the background color to red. You can see this thing is automatically giving the color here. But if I refresh now, you can see the background color for Google is now red. So you are?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then I can change the text color. So I'll just say color to be aqua blue. Aqua. No, let me just use default colors available. Okay, let's use aquamarine. I know what color the aquamarine is. Okay, it has shown us it. So it has saved automatically, then refresh here. But then we can't really see the color here. Let me change it to white. White. So I save and I refresh. can see the Google font has changed to white.
Yes, sir.
So this is what they call inline CSS. When you come to that particular place and come and style it, that's what we call inline CSS. But there's another one that we put in our header. So here is our header. Now we put another style in our header. So that's style. You can see that one as tag, opening tag and closing tag. Our inline CSS has the tag with our styling within the opening tag of the CSS. So here now you can say for all our anchor tags. So we can come here and say background color. Background color should be blue. Then our color, we want our colors to be what color goes well on blue? Let's say white. Then we want to change our font family. Font family to, let's use Lucid Sans. So we save this, then we come back here and refresh. Refresh. You can see everything now has background of blue. The color of the list changed to white, but then this one did not change. This our Google did not change. Who can tell me why the Google font and the Google background color did not change?
Because you did an inline CSS for it down.
Yes.
It's not an anchor tag.
It's an anchor tag actually. We've done an inline CSS for it. So the argument of things is inline CSS has more authority over what you are doing than the header CSS. Then the external style sheet has more authority over what you are doing than the header CSS. I mean, has less authority. How do I put it now? Inline is greater than header. Header is greater than external CSS. Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
What did I just say? Anybody? What did I just say? Someone explain what I just said.
He said the line is greater than CSS.
That's not what I said. Anybody that can tell me what I just said?
You said, okay. You said the inline CSS is greater than the header CSS, and the header CSS is greater than the external.
Yeah, they have precedence over each other. So that's what I just said. So let's do the external CSS now. Then the external CSS, we use link for that one. So I will not delete the header CSS that I have here, but then I will now bring in an external CSS. So I can link the external CSS to multiple. The advantage of the external CSS is, for example, you know, inline, when you do inline CSS, and the way we did it for this one now, we have to do for this one separately, we have to do for this one too separately. But then there's something we could have done to save us at the headache of having to do it everything at the same time. I mean, one by one. So we could have done div. We do div now. We can copy all our anchor tags. I want you to see something. So our anchor tags, we put them in here. So we save. See what's happening here. You can see the way what this one looks like now. Let me now go and do one styling that I want to do here. So go back to the head now. So the background color. I'm now changing this anchor tag now to div. So I put everything inside div. So I change it to div. Then see what's happening here now. Let me now refresh. This is what will happen. See this thing cover the whole line. The blue background cover the whole line. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Then the color is no more affecting them. The color is no more affecting them. So if I want to change the color to affect them now, I have to change it to font color. Font. There's no font color here. There's no like font color. Font, is it font display now?
It might be font styling.
Okay. Is it font styling? Are you sure?
Yeah, it should be.
Let me refresh. It's not. Color.
It's just normal color.
A normal color is not affecting our this. That's why I'm trying to check something else. White. white. White is not changing the color of these things, but then the Google that has white inline styling changed. But then, okay, I will look for a way of solving that problem. But the actual thing is, it should change with this color. Style is for something else. Font style is for more of maybe we want to italicize or something. So you can see this thing, italic and the likes. So what I'm saying. So we say italic now. We save and refresh here. You can see it italicized everything. But then color is not affecting them. That's the problem I'm having. But then I will fix the problem, color problem very soon. Don't worry. Then let me quickly explain external style sheet. External style sheet is when we create a new file outside our HTML. Let's create a new file here. So come here, create a new file, call it index.css. So let's now say we want to style background, body. So we are styling the whole body. You know where body comes from now? Where is body coming from? I beg. Where is body coming from? Body is what is containing everything. You see the body here. There's body in the beginning here, and there's body at the end. So body is what contains the things we can display to our users. So now CSS, I say body, and I say background color. Don't worry, the background color I'm about to use is going to be very terrible. Don't let me use a terrible one. Let's use this one. Then let's save. Then let's refresh. Okay, I've not linked it, sorry. So index.html. Then I have to link it. So I come to my header. I have to come here, link. Then you can see style sheet. Then I have to give it the address to the style sheet. So that's index.css. So if I refresh now, you can see the background color has changed. Let me use the background color that is obvious so that you guys can see it well. But then the obvious one is not fine. That's the problem I'm having. You can do blue. Then we'll save. You can refresh here. You can see the way blue looks like. Just start everywhere. So you can see the background color actually changed from external style sheets. Are we getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So
please, I didn't get how you link the index CSS. I didn't get that part.
Okay, how I linked it. Oh, this is it now. This is it. Linking relationship is style sheet, because you can link a lot of things to your HTML file actually. So the relationship between them is style sheet. Then the name of the file, you have it in this href, the same href that we have in our anchor tag. So we tell it the address to the external style sheet. And the advantage of using external style sheet is we can link one style sheet to all our files. So here now I can come back here too, and I say link. Then I say index.html to here. .css. Then I save here. Then I come to our contact us too, and I say the same thing. So I won't have to start repeating myself, unlike if I'm using the internal style sheet. So index.css. So that's it here. Then we can now go back to our here. You can see it's here. So I go to about us. You can see it's still blue background too. Then if I go to my what's it called now? If I go to my contact us, it's blue background too. So just one styling goes for everything. Are you seeing the advantage of using external style sheet now?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
you what?
Yes, sir.
Tell me if you don't understand now, so that we can pause here and continue, because I need you guys to understand, because this is basics. Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I understand very well.
Okay. Moving on from there, let's look for another aspect of things. So now I've explained. Let me go back to index of HTML. We have using to have a lot of things there that can easily style. So let's start styling from here now. So there is let's start H1 now. I want to explain REN. So index dot this thing. And I come back here. Let me change this color background to something else. I beg. This color is horrible. So color. Let me pick aquamarine. Let's pick aquamarine. I think that one is a bit better. So let's refresh. How many of us like this color? Or choose another color?
It's okay.
This one is okay, Abby.
The color is okay.
Yes,
Let's look for green now. Let's look for green. Which one? This one or the other one?
The other one.
Ladies like flashy things. So refresh. So let's keep this one. But then don't go and use this one as a background in the actual website that you are designing. Except the user, the owner of the website specifically asks for it. So now let's do H1. So we want to start H1 now.
Yeah, I know.
So we can say font size. So you can say 2 REM. So let's go back to our home page. So there's no link to home page there. I'm supposed to add it. So refresh. Where's our H1 now? This is H1. Set 2 REM. Is it size or incoming? Font size, sorry, it's not size. 2 REM. Refresh. Not changing anything. Why? Incoming now. I want to do something. Not changing anything. Incoming. Let me change it to 20 pixels. I want to see something. Sorry, I'm experimenting something. You can see it actually changed here. Then we have REM. There are three ways of sizing things. We have the REM, we have the pixel, and we have the we didn't set the default size EM. Emphasis like times EM. 20 EM. You can see this one affected it. You can see the size increased like too much.
Yes.
Let me change it back to 2. Sorry. 2. Save. Then refresh. And see 2 is not really having much effect like that. Even when I use the default one, it's not really having effect. So I change it to, let's say, 4. Refresh. You can see how it increased the size.
Yes, sir.
So EM is more of emphasis, meaning multiply the current size by that 4, or by that 2, or by the 10. Do we get it?
Yes.
You don't get it, talk.
Yes, I don't get it.
Can you please repeat that?
I did not get it, sir.
Okay, what I'm saying in essence is our EM is like emphasis. That is, let's say we have the default font size is 20. Then we say 2 EM, it automatically become 40 pixels. If it was 3 EM, it will become 60 pixels. If it's 4 EM, it will become 80 pixels. If it's 10 EM, it will become 200 pixels. That's if the default size is 20 pixels. Show you what?
Yes, sir.
So that's EM for us. Yeah. So let me change it back to, but about to have been this video is not bad. It's my name. I'm proud of that name. So P, that's paragraph tag. You can do the same thing for all P's too. So you can say REM. Sorry, I said REM. Font size is equal to, you can see there's smaller, there's small, there's medium, there's large, there's larger, all this scenario. But then if it's EM, I want to do, yes, so I will do 3 EM. But see your paragraph this thing here now. If I save, I come back here and refresh, you can see they became bigger. But then it's no longer making any sense. So let me just remove this. So I can change font color. That's color. Color equals beige. Right? Refresh, save that and refresh. You can see we can't really see the color again.
Yes, sir.
Change it to beige. So let me just change it to black. Let me change back to black. So let me quickly follow what I have here. Okay, we've not gotten the position. I've done background color. Then to comment CSS, to comment out CSS. Let's say we don't want to use this color again. A normal day, we know how to comment out on our this is how to comment out CSS. Slash, that's / color, then star color / so whatever is in between these two things, even if it's more than one line, it will be commented out. That is, our HTML file won't be able to read it. So let me write size here. Size equals whatever I want the size to be. So if I save this, okay, let me change this one back to white. White. If I save, you can see it's not even showing the color thing that is normally shown here. Let me change this one back to white. If I come here and refresh, you can see it's not affecting anything. But then if I uncomment it out and I save, if I change this one back, you can see it changed the color. So that's how to comment. So you what?
Yes, sir.
Comment is more of when you try something and you want to deprecate that, you don't want to use it again, or you want to explain what you just did, so that the next person that uses your code, or even you in the future, be able to understand what you've done. So moving on from there, we have, okay, let's do some basic selectors. So now let's go back to our index.html. We want to do some selectors. So for example, here now, if we want to change everything in our this thing here, like our center, we want to change everything, we can give it a class 1 ID. ID is unique identifier. That is, when we use an ID, it means it has to be, we can only have one ID. I mean, we can only have a particular name. Like, how do I put it now? We can only have one particular thing bearing an ID. For example, you can't have double Abasola Yayetunde. If there's any other Abasola Yayetunde, the person can't have it. I'm the original. So that's the thing with ID. So ID has to be unique. So if I give this one ID of, let's say header, I be head. No, don't let me use head. Let me use topmost. Topmost. I call this one topmost. It means I can come back here and give one the same ID of topmost. Topmost. It's a very wrong thing to do. So I won't use topmost here. I can use header 3. Header 3. If I save this now, so if I come back to CSS now, I can call topmost. Topmost contains everything here. So I can change the color of everything. For example, I come to, so to call our ID in CSS now, we have to use hash topmost. So if I come here and I do this, why is it on the line? Is it my spelling of topmost not correct? So topmost, sorry, CSS, topmost. So I have topmost there, then I have, what's it called? Font color. No, color. Color equals, let's use white. Let's use this. Then we can say background. Background color. Sorry. And you have to end every line with semicolon. So background color should be black. Don't mind the design I'm doing today. It's a very horrible design, but then that's the best way I think I can use to explain. You can see it affected everything here because we gave that on the whole thing here. We gave it the class of topmost. Are you getting it? So we carried everything and gave it the class of topmost. So we can change the color and change the background. We can change other things about it actually. So let's pick this our educational part. So where is it now? So education. So after this HR, so I can give a div. Then inside the div now I can copy the whole of what is here. Let me just copy the whole of what is here. Control X. I come in here. I do this. I do this. Then I have all this here. So I can give this one a class. Now I've spoken about ID. Then we can have class. But the class thing can go for multiple things. So multiple things can share the same class, but multiple things cannot share the same ID. So here we have class equal to, let's say, boxes. You can give it whichever name you like. I just use boxes. Okay. So I can go to my CSS, Then to call class now, we use dot for class. We use hash for what's it called? For the ID, then we use what's it called? Dot for class. So boxes. Then color. Color equals, let's say, black. Then we have background. Background color equals blue violet, as blue green. So we refresh this now. You can see that's okay. Change it. So you can see how it changed it. But I can change this color to white, for example. Let me just use this thing here. You can see it gave me the RGB value. So there are different ways to give your color, your color. You can use the RGB value, you can use the name, or you can use the X code. For example, I could have changed this one to hash FFF. If I save this, that's white. But I can change it to 00000. 0000000. So that one is black. Do you get it? So there are three different ways of naming, giving our colors. You can use the name. You can use the that we call it the X code, which is the hash code. Then we can use the what's it called now? The RGB value. So you can go to Google and look for the X code for any color. So I can say X code for gold. Let me just X code for gold. So this is the X code for gold. So I can just copy this, copy that, then come here and just come back to boxes and change our X code here to what we have there. So we save and we refresh. So we refresh. You can see it has changed to gold. Do we all get it?
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody on this call that does not get it before I continue? Anybody that does not get what I just said before I continue? Anybody?
You can continue, sir.
Okay, moving on from there. So let's come back to our HTML here. I want to give that funding image. I want to give it a new style. So I'll come back to, what is it now? Where's the image? This is the image here. So here now, I can give it a class here. I can give it a class of class equals class equals, what class should I give it now? Funding. So if I give it a class of funding, so how do I call it here now? Someone tell me. How do I call that image from here? Just that image alone, not the others. You know, if I call IMG, whatever I do will affect everything. It affect all the images on the page. But then I just want to pick that particular image. I just call funding. Now I give it a class of funding. So how do I call it here? Anybody?
That's hash funding.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm
Dot.
sure.
Dot funding.
Someone is saying something else.
Dot funding.
Dot funding. So we have two options now. Dot funding, hash funding. Which one is right?
Hash.
Dot funding is
Is
correct.
dot funding.
Dot funding.
Dot funding.
Dot funding is correct.
Dot funding is correct. Exactly. Dot funding is the correct thing. Dot funding. Then we have, I want to quickly show us something. I want to convert an image into a circle. So I can say border radius. I just change it to 50%. If I change to 50%, if I come here and I refresh, if I come down here, you can see it has changed to circle. Are we getting it?
Yes, sir.
But then if I change border radius to like 30%, and I save and I come back here and I refresh, you can see just change the edges. Is the border radius getting? Are we getting the border radius now?
Yes, sir.
So all those curved edges that you normally see. For example, I can just change it to 10 pixels. And if I come here and refresh, you can see what it looks like.
Yes, sir.
So I can change it to 5 too. Just need us to understand how border radius works now. So show you what. Do you all understand? Sorry.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
used to speaking Yoruba. Okay, let's move on from there to something else. Okay, I'm explaining border radius. I said 50%. If I say 100%, what will happen if I change the border radius to 100%? Anybody?
Cycle. You have a cycle.
About 50% give us cycle now.
But it will still be same cycle.
Are you sure? Any other opinion?
It will be smaller.
Who said smaller?
The circle will be smaller.
Smaller. Are you sure?
Well, what you need
opinion?
is still going to be cycle. Yeah.
This is not smaller. Just reduce the distance. But then let's change it back to 50% so that we can know 50% is the actual thing we need. So that's so moving on from there. Oh God.
Please, I want to ask, can we adjust the image inside the cycle? Can we adjust it?
Like, how do you mean you want to adjust?
Okay, I adjust it so that all the write-ups in the image can show.
And that's why you have to reduce. You have to reduce the border radius you give me. You don't get. Okay, let's do for.
Okay. Apart from reducing the border radius, can you have something like in a circle, and then what you have, the image you have inside, is well presented, like you can see everything on the image? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
You can see everything inside this one well. You're not getting me. You can see everything inside this one well because the edges does not contain any information. If you want to do something like that, you should make sure your information is not around the edge. You want to show to your clients, it's not around the edge.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
So, for example, if you want to do the radius for this one, you can just make the radius 5%, and it's still nice. But then for something like this, for example, you want to do profile image, I think this one will do for you. Something like this. Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
But
sir.
then
Yes.
something like this. See this image. Because it's not a square, it's a rectangle. The 50% border radius, turn it into an oval, like an egg. Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move on from there. So now, how many of us have seen? Okay, for example, see this thing here. This React icon, this YouTube icon. Then our own is not having an icon. There's a way we can actually add icon to our URL. So we go to Meta. Sorry. Icon. How do we add icons to this one? I forgot to. Meta. Chassis. No. It's supposed to be icon, I guess. Is it icon of favicon? I'm not sure. Icon equals, what's the name of that image? Let's just use abas.jpg. The favicon. There's a way to change. It's not changing. Okay, let's check Google.
Make it a good emotion.
Oh, sorry. This is how to do it. It is linked that we use, not Meta. But then Okay. It's not style now. It's recording now. Icon. Abi? It's icon. And I'll give it this address to our image. So we'll give it this address. Let's see and see what happens.
Hello, sir. We are not hearing you.
Oh, sorry. I said to add icon to our page. Again, if you notice what's happening here now, let me maximize this. You notice what's happening here. This image is already showing up here. Are you seeing it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So something like this site now, this is their that's their logo. This is GitHub logo. This YouTube logo, like that. So you can see these people's icon here. So our own too, we now use my image as the icon. You can see the icon here. So that's how to add icon to our HTML page. Do we get it? So this is how to add icon to our HTML page. It's not like you are linking style sheet, but then instead of style sheet, you call icon. Then you give the address to the icon you want to use. Can you hear me now? Someone is saying he or she cannot hear me. You guys can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
So moving on from there. Okay. We've done background color. Then let's now explain some things about margin, border, width, and the likes. The box model. So the box model. Let's use. What should we use now? Let me check this page. If I can see it. Sorry, please give me 30 seconds. I want to do something. 30 seconds. So let's use that. I meant 2 minutes. Sorry. Let's take 2 minute recess. Then we'll be back. Hello, guys. We are back from break. Oh. Welcome. Okay. Can someone just give us a recap of what we've done so far before we continue? Anybody?
Okay, we did how to put icon in your image icon on your address. The top, that place you're putting your image at the top. And what else? You told us the class and IDs. I guess that's what my brain catch. I need to go again.
Any other person? Any other person?
You also talked about the different types of CSS styling, how that we have inline styling, inline CSS rather, external CSS and header CSS, and inline CSS is greater than header, header is greater than external.
Any other thing?
We've also talked about border radius. I said we've also talked about border radius.
Okay, border radius. And what other thing are we talking about today?
And our identity, ID, our unique identifier.
Yeah. Okay, I see you guys are following me. So let's move on. So let's do box model. So we use certification, certificate at this point. So these are our certifications. That's what we want to go and do box model on. So let's just give it a.
Please, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you do a recap on how you added icon to the top, please?
Icon.
A recap of.
It's just here. It's just here. Use the link, the same link we use for linking our style sheet. Use link for the relationship this time, and instead of style sheet, it will be icon. Don't give it the address to our icon or our image. And it will automatically make it our icon here. Do we get it? The person who asked the question, do you get it now?
Yeah, I get it now. I get it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go on. So how many people are watching on YouTube? Just to left. I guess some people left after during the break. So okay. I think we are good to go again. Let's go on. Okay. So I said I want to explain the box model. So everything we've been doing so far has been inside the box. But then we don't know it's a box. So let me quickly explain the box model. So context. So I'll say I'll put a div here. So div. Then we have this. Then we push this like this. Then that's a div. Then we'll give it a class. Let's do a class of class equals. Let's do a class of. Let's just call it. You know, hope you know if I call it boxes, same thing as this class here. If I save, if I come back here and refresh, everything I did here will affect this one too. Do you remember? Charity?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I don't want the same thing to happen to this one. So I'll call it what should I call it now? Someone give me a name for it. Box model. Box model. So I save this, then I come to my CSS, and I come here, and I call dot box model. So here now, I can set the what's it called now? Border width. Border width. Border equals, let's give you a border of 10 pixel solid, 10 pixel solid. I can give you the color to blue. If I save this and I refresh here, wow. I didn't tell it to cover the whole thing. I said border. Coming. 10 pixel, that's border, that 10 pixel. Oh, I didn't say, sorry. I made a mistake. But then it should border left, border right. Okay, let me just do what I did. So border, that's 10 pixel solid green. Let me save that. Let me refresh. And this is what I'm saying. 10 pixel solid green. And this is the edges. But then why is the background blue? Well, I said background for this box model. Is there any way we could have set blue for this background? Let me go back to my HTML. I beg. Sorry. That was what confused me that time. Div. Oh, we set a background for div. Sorry. We set a background for div the other time in our head. Remember, background color equals blue. Do you remember? Background color equals blue for div. So if we don't set a background color for our class, automatically take that particular color. That was what confused me that time. So if I remove this and I refresh now, to change the background back to background of the background, the actual background of the whole thing. But then I can come back in here and set a background color for it. So what background color should we set? Background color. What background color should we set? Oh yeah, now suggest background color.
Red.
Ah, I bought some. I'll use it anyway. It's not bad actually. It's not that bad. I take back my live version, bro. Not too bad. So in essence, what I'm trying to explain is this is our border. So I tell it to be 10 pixels thick. So I tell it to be 5 now. Look at what will happen if I refresh this place. You can see it became smaller. The background, this thing became smaller. If I make it 50, it will be too big. So if I come here and I refresh, you can see how thick is now. It is now. Yes,
sir.
Okay. So let me change it back to 5. I beg. The 50 is too much. So let's just refresh. Then we can set. Okay. So actually, everything we have here, we could have set it differently. So we can say border styling. Border styling. Border style. So we could have said there are different types of borders. You can see the dotted, you can see the dashed, you can see the solid too. Oh, for solid is divided. Solid is there too. So we could have used the dotted. Let me use the dotted so that we can see. Dotted. So if I save this and I remove the solid I put here now, let me remove this. I remove this, then I go back and set border color too. So I packed everything together inside one before. Although we had the border equals 12 pixel solid green. So let's just do color now. Color. So instead of writing 3 was what I used the other one. Let me just use yellow there. If I come back here and I refresh, you can see it's now dotted.
Yes, sir.
So that's why it's dotted here. I think this one is making more sense like this. I'll leave it as dotted, but there are other options that you can choose. So I'll just come back here and I'll say dotted, then yellow, that's hash FFD 700. So I'll just remove this one. I'll remove this two actually because that one does everything the 3 of them are doing. So if I refresh here now, there's still nothing happening. So then I can say border radius. Who knows what border radius will do for us?
The edge.
Exactly.
The edges.
It will make the edges curved.
Yes.
You can see how the edges are curved now. That's
Yes,
border
sir.
radius. Then we have there's another thing we need to talk about before I leave border. I've spoken about width. Okay, I've not spoken about border. Okay, I've spoken about width now. That's the okay, then let's do border width and border height. So border width. So our border width now, our border width, let's say 300 pixels. Refresh. If you refresh here now, this is what happened.
Yes.
What happened?
The border, everything became big, and those circle are 4.
Like, why did this happen? When we set our border width, we are telling each of those dotted lines. So this is our size here, our border size here that we set here. This one overrules it. So if I comment out this and I say border width here, if I refresh here, see what happens. It's not showing up. So if I uncomment this, if I change this one to 300, sorry, if I change this one to 300 and I comment out this, nothing with, we see what happens now. You can see still the same thing. So in essence, what we are saying is the border width, that is each of those dotted lines when it was 10. Let me change it back to 10 now. Then refresh. Change it back to 10. So each of these dotted thing, we are making it 300 pixels big. I'm making the width 300 pixels. So the height will automatically change to 300. Do we get it? Do we get it? You don't get it, stop now.
Does it mean one of the dots is the bigger circle we saw the last time?
Exactly. But because there was not enough space, was why the dot reduced the number to 4. So if I say 100 now, see what happens to 100. 100. Save. If I refresh now, you can see 100. It became, you get it?
Yes, sir.
So change it back to 10 now. Just need us to, oh shit. I'm not doing React here. I've switched to React, sorry. We still do React in this class though.
Wow. React.
So moving on, moving back here. Sorry for that. This thing. I'm working on a project that I have to close to take this class. Okay, that's this. Then we're speaking about border now. We need to close this now. So now we're speaking about border. Then is there another thing? I need to talk about padding. Actually, I didn't mean there is. Okay, I'll do illustration of padding too, so I'll be able to get it. Padding. Padding, we can say 12 pixels padding. Let me say 120 so that we'll get it first. Save. Do you know what padding means? From what I just did.
Yeah. You brought it to the center, the space between the margin and the text.
And the content, exactly. The content of that thing. Are we getting it? The space between the margin and the content of the thing is margin. I mean, it's padding, sorry. Are we getting it? So
yes, can you please recap, sir?
I said distance between the border and the content. That is, for example, here text. is padding. So for example, from this HR to this place is the padding. So we could have actually said padding, let's set the padding to be something obvious, but yet not to be 40. If I say 40 here and I refresh, you can see the 40, it reduces the size now. But then I could have changed the padding by right. I can set one padding. If I set one, it will be both the top, the side, the bottom, and the other side too. They are all 40, 40, 40. But then if I now say 40 by, let's say 10, see what happens now. If I come back here, look at your screen right now. Look at what will happen. Do you notice anything?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
Yes, sir.
The top is 40, the right is 10.
Exactly.
Okay.
God bless you. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like it's moving like from the top to this side, then to this side, then to this side. But because we said 2 to give us top, left, then bottom, right. So now if I say come back here and I say 20, who can guess what will happen? Just 20 alone. If I say 20, who can guess what will happen? Anybody?
To move to the right.
Up, left, and
down.
To move to the right, and any other opinion?
I guess the right will be 20 pixels from the text.
Any other opinion?
You move like this.
Any other opinion? Okay, in the absence of no other opinion, let me just refresh that. You see what happened. You see what happened? Are you saying I just seen when it happened?
What did I talk now?
Yes.
Oh, this is 40.
The top is still 40, the
Yes,
sides are still 10, but the bottom has changed to 20.
Mhm.
Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
Then, if you now make it 4, we say, let's say 40 now, pixels.
Right.
Who can explain what will happen now? I believe everybody should know what will happen now.
Okay, there will be effects on the top.
On the top? And
On the right.
The right,
On
the right.
Right.
there will be 40 pixels on to the right.
Yes.
So we refresh this, we won't really see much difference like that. But then you can see what happened. Do we see what happened?
Yes, sir.
So moving on from there, then I need to talk about the margin. Margin. I'm talking about border. I'm talking about padding. Who can guess what margin is?
This is padding. Margin.
Who can guess what margin is? This is what happened. Let me comment it out and refresh and uncomment it again. You see what happened? We see what is you are looking at on your screen now. But I uncomment this out now. And I come back here. This is what happened.
Yes.
So who can explain what margin is?
Margin is the space between the container and the content, like the space, there's space between the full, let me just say the container. So there's space between the container and the content of, I don't know how to put it. The box. I don't know there's space between them.
Yeah, it's actually the space between the container. You can use container and the environment. But that's my own abridged a definition. No. Don't go outside there and now say, Olaya said, margin is the space between the container and the environment. I will deny you from heaven to earth. I say no, give me teacher. But then we get the gist of what I'm saying now.
Yes, sir.
So that's that. So I've explained padding, I've explained border, I've explained margin. Then is there another thing I need to explain?
Yes. Sir, sorry, you have no.
Excuse me, let me ask first. Can the margin has, apart from the right, can the margin has effect? Less or
Sorry, I didn't get. Well, you should type what you are saying. I didn't hear what you said. Or if any other person heard, maybe the person can say it out to me.
okay,
Sir.
okay. What is the margin having effects on the right? Can it also have effects on the top or the left part of the?
It's having an effect on all the sides, so it's not just this.
Okay. Maybe I didn't see the full screen.
It's having an effect on all the sides. It's just that margin for this one, we overlap the margin for this one too. But then the margin here is not overlapping. That's why it seems it's bigger here than here. Do we get it? Body has its own margin normally. You can see this one, we didn't set any margin, but then there was margin here and there's margin here. But you can't compare the margin here. You can't compare the margin from this line to this place to this one too. So that's what I'm saying. So you could have set your margin to be, let's say 40 now. If I save and I come back and I refresh, you can see the distance increased. You can see it's not just this side that increased, it is all the sides that increased. Do you get it? Let me set to 80 so that it will be obvious to you. If I come back here, be looking at your screen right now. Use what happened. You can see it increased on all sides. So that's what I'm saying in essence. Let me change it back to 10 now. Do we get it?
Yes.
Yes.
There's anybody that does not get it, let me know. So now let me go to our about us page. About us page as content. And let's just do what we want to do on our about us page. No, it's not here. So it's here. Right here. So I want to quickly do something. Classwork. How many of us are with our computers where we are? Everybody with their computer in front of them?
Yes, I'm using my so this is easier. I'm using my computer, but I'm using another computer to work. So even if I'm doing it, I won't be able to share my screen. I can only take a shot.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I was going to give us a very short assignment, but then no worries. I'll make it our what's it called now?
Assignment.
Our assignment. So I don't want to choke us with too many information today. Was why I'm trying to manage things. We are almost done with everything I have for us to assign the assignments. But then let's talk about some things. So we've spoken about div, we've spoken about span. Okay, let's quickly draw some boxes. So let's create some span. Then span, let me give this one a class of first. Then another span. Let me give this one the span of class second. Then span class third. Then let's go to our CSS now. So here. So how do I call first class? How do I call first class?
What is it?
How do I call first class? So
Dots. And what did you write in it? I don't know if I could. Polish. Something in there.
okay. Why is it not showing? Is it on about us page? It's about total data, man. Why is it not showing? Post. Did I make a mistake in the spelling? Yeah, no. Is it because I said screen? You said black. Even at that. I can't find what I'm doing. About us page. Let me change this span to div and come. Class. Post. Why is it not showing? Coming up. Coming up. Okay. I change it to div. Now it's showing. Post. No longer showing. I don't know. Oh, you should not use first. B. You shouldn't use first in our first one. First one. Second one. Third one. B. Let's see what's on users. Let's go back our CSS. Say first one. It's not showing up. But then what's the problem?
Sir,
What?
do you know what I noticed? This column here is meant to be equals to.
Yeah, I just saw that too. But then it's still not working.
Do the same thing.
It's getting white, not working. As okay, it's working now. So I'm coming. Let me see. Dot second one. Sorry. I think I'm not that made the mistake. Sorry for delaying us. Actually, I wasn't checking my codes, and that was because I will not lie, I did not pray for today's class. I'm just speaking things off my head. Going. Then going. Yeah. Let's refresh. Oh, I said 10 pixels. So border is 10 pixels. Width is this, height is that. It shouldn't be like this now. It should be bigger than this. Why is it like this? let's go back and change everything to div abeg. I'll talk about span in the next class. So I won't spend too much time in this class and not be able to do everything I want to. Because once I start what I'm doing, I have to finish it. The so coming back here, index for CSS. So whatever I have here, I'll do for third one too. Third one is and third one. Third one. Okay, that's black. This green is blue. Blue, sky blue, sky blue. Okay, then save, refresh. You see what happens to all of them? Can you see what happened to all of them? See the way they are arranged. Hello?
Yes, yes, we are with you.
So classwork now. How do I do it such that this one here, we start from here like this, so it will be drawn like this. You get it? Then this one starts from the end of it too. Then it will be drawn like this. Anybody? Any takers? How do we go about it?
I'm thinking maybe we are going to use margin rights.
Margin right? Are you sure?
I don't know. I'm just guessing anyways.
No, don't guess. So suggest a solution. Suggest a solution.
Okay, let's go for margin right then.
Then what will be the margin right for the first one?
It should be half of it. That should be 50 pixels.
It's not half for the end, you know.
100.
100 margin right. Margin right. 100. Are you sure it's 100?
Let's give it a try.
100 pixel. Then what will be the margin right for the last one?
200.
Margin right. That was 200 though. 200 pixel. So save, then refresh.
Let's give it a try.
Nothing is happening. What's it refresh? You. I can share there.
That's why you have to talk. So you need to tell us the reason why it's not working.
No, you are the one that suggested the answer now. Me, I know the solution now.
I don't know again.
No. Any other takers?
If we start guessing, I can guess another thing again, and it might not.
Guess another thing now. That's actually software development too. There are sometimes that we don't know the solution to things. Then you try the first one, try the second one, try the third one. Then when it works, we are good.
I don't think absolute can work for something like this now.
Oh, positioning. I don't thought you guys positioning now.
No, you have not taught us.
That's the next thing we're supposed to do. Actually, positioning will help us to do this easily. But then I want you to be able to think, even before position now, be able to do this. Then when we get positioning, then you see the actual way of doing things. So let's still try and tackle this, how to solve it. So any takers?
What if we nest the second span and the third one? I'm just thinking, inside the first, like
inside the first
opening, like in between the opening and the closing tag of the first one.
Okay, what you are saying is we should go back to inside our about.html. Then we'll copy what is in here and put inside that one, Abby. Ctrl X. I push it. Boom. This one. It's my work. I'm not discouraging you. So let's see what you said. Then let's refresh for the first one. So do you see what's happening?
It's entering inside.
Maybe you are the one that put inside it.
What we try margin auto? Will you work?
Ma?
I think
Margin
margin
auto,
auto
will it work?
takes it to the center.
Control X.
Let's give it a try. I know we need to start guessing.
Oh, sorry. I've organized everything I have here. Control Z. Nepa. Okay, let's see how it goes. I might have to run Gen again, but let's go on. So I won't delay the class on that 2 minutes. So let's just refresh this for now. So we see what is happening here. So you said we should use auto, Abi?
Yes.
Margin equals auto. Abi?
Yes.
Okay. Margin equals auto. People with furniture. Level auto show me by to
Yay! What is something? But sir, I didn't know we can use our this thing. Maybe imagine that auto or margin auto. We can use maybe we can give it like 50 pixel or 100 pixel. Let's see whether it will work out. Since it's moving now. Since it's moving now, so we should move it back.
That's what I'm asking now. How do you want to move it?
Let's send it to the back.
I return it to ya back to sender. How do we go on?
Help us out. We were the best scatter.
Okay. Well, for it to be under, it means that the HTML or the web page is taking it to mean that it's occupying all the space on the left.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to solve the problem. But I think that is the problem.
Wow. Oh yeah, let's add another one again. Thanks for bringing the opportunity. Thanks for giving us ideas.
This is the solution. I'm doing the solution for you now.
I thought she was gonna give us the solution now.
What she was saying was not what I did now. We are spending too much time on it.
Hey, but sir, at least we still try. We say margin right, but we should have known it's left. We did a mistake in that one now.
Okay. When you make mistake in the exam, then we'll give you extra mark.
No, at least they'll give us corrections now. 120, so it's double.
Do you get that? Why it's 120?
Yes.
Why is it 120?
The first box. What are we using there? We're using 100, right? I thought that was the size for the first box.
100, yes, 100.
Yeah.
100. So why is it now 120?
No idea.
That no idea is the major problem every developer has. You need to have an idea of everything. The reason why it's 120 is, see, I set border to be 10. So there's 10 on this side, there's 10 on this side. So 10 plus 10, 20 plus 100, 120. That's why I have to move it 120 to this side. Do you get it? Then here too, 120 plus 120, making 240 was why I moved it like this, 240.
Nice one.
Do you guys get it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do you see how what we are doing? You said, is there a question? I thought I was going to ask a question. Okay, in the absence of no question, let's keep going. So, can you see how interesting our software development can be? Like, you see how we played with this thing now. Okay, let me make you laugh. There was a project that I had to build a desktop app. That was like 2 months ago. Yes, 2 months ago. I was building a database and a desktop database for someone. Then the person gave me 2 weeks to finish the job. A night to the day I will return to submit the work to the person. And I ate, like, you know, when you are working with someone, a big person, and it's the first time the person is giving you a job, you want to do it to the optimal, and at the same time, you want to be on time. because of future jobs. So this job, a night to the, 2 days to the day, I could not solve the problem. So I called my colleagues, like, guys, help me to solve this problem. They spent the whole day, they could not solve it. Then it was a night before the submission of the work. So I knew, oh, how do we get this work done? Do you know what happened that night? I could not sleep.
No.
I could not sleep. I was awake throughout the night. I was looking at my code like this. Of course, I was going to bed, but then sleep was not coming. I was like, hey, Olaya, hey, was it pop up? Like, yeah. But then I was just like, okay, let me try this thing. Like I was trying to sleep. Sleep will not come at that time now. I was trying to sleep, but then sleep was not coming. So I was like, okay, let's try this thing. Oh, Jesus. That thing, immediately I tried it like this. How many of us are Christians here?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
If you're a Christian, you know that feeling when you were able to solve a problem, but then there was no other way to celebrate that to just start speaking in tongues and just start enjoying yourself in your room, like just running around your room, be like, God, I worship you. Like that
Yes,
was the
sir.
feeling that day.
I know the feeling.
So that was the feeling that day. Like in my mind, I was like, Olaya, this thing you don't break, scatter this thing. But then after I got that solution, of course, the project was not complete, but solving that one was like a major milestone. So I prayed for almost 30 minutes before coming back, like, guy, let's come back to this project and finish it. But then I was able to finish it before 7 a.m. I promised the person 8 a.m. So I got the person's office 5 minutes to 8. So I just gave the person the work and I was like, your work is done. And please pay my balance. So Android app test about like my build by that confidence. I just so when I go back home, I have to just go back and sleep because I could not sleep throughout the night. I finished. I told you guys I finished to 7, so I had to just make it to the office, get back home. As in, I slept like a baby because one, you thought you were going to flop the project. You did not flop the project. 2, you did not sleep throughout the night. 3, there's confidence that there is money in your bank account. So I just went to bed and was like, when I wake up, I'm not even cooking. I'm taking myself out. I just slept that like. So that was the feeling of being a software. For example, see this small thing that we had now. But then if you are just 100, you'll be like, why is this thing still under this place? Then you go back to your code and read. Okay, there's one extra 10 there. But then you add 10 to it, it's still not going to work. For example, you say 110 now, come back, please, and still 110. You say 10 now. Sorry. You say 10 and you refresh. You still see it's still underneath this place. So why is it still like this? Oh, you measure the border. The border are actually standing on each other. So there are actually 2 borders. So just change it and change it to 120. Then you rerun and you recheck here, and it just goes back to the right place. Do you see how fun this thing can be? So please, whilst doing your software development, don't come and agonize or stress yourself over spilled milk. Say, this is not working the way I want it to work. Then you now start beating up yourself. Don't beat up yourself. Even the best software developers, people that work at Google, they make mistakes and it takes them time to fix them. So make your mistake and enjoy.
The kind of mistakes I make sometimes.
What mistake?
It still happened to me this evening now. I was trying to link my style sheet to my code, but it was not working. I never knew the column was double. I'm almost vexed to even close my laptop down. I'm not even doing this thing again until I now noticed I did 2 column. That's why software is not something that exists at all. I don't try. I'm trying.
The thing is, if you see it as a problem, it will be a problem. If you see it as a challenge, then it will be a challenge. Then you see it as fun, like you're playing with your system. For example, have you been in that position that you go that code, you're like, computer, you know wrong, they become wrong. Like this computer is what is wrong. I'm not the wrong person. I've done it on several occasions and I was like, at the end of the day, I'll tell myself, computer can never make mistake. It's what you put in that you get out. That's the same thing in marriage. Women are multipliers. Sorry, women, no, I did not mean to offend you guys. Women are multipliers. If you give them trouble, they give you double trouble or triple trouble, multiple trouble. And if you give them peace of mind, you will enjoy your life. If you give them small money, they will multiply it. If you give them your idea, they will turn into a business. So I beg the girlfriends and the wives in your lives, I beg, be careful what you give them, because what you give them, they will multiply it and give you back. So if you give them negative, now you. So let's get back to class now. Daniel, let's against Elizabeth. No, are you guys what we've been doing so far? Elizabeth. No. Please try and guess what we've been doing so far. Because I've actually exhausted everything I want to teach us for today. So from next class, we'll do, okay, you are getting it. So don't worry. It's going to be fun. If you run into any problem, my DM is always available for everybody. It's just when I see the problem you are bringing to me is a problem that is a bit cumbersome, and I know you've charged millions for it, then I might charge you. But then if I see it's a normal problem that everybody has, I won't charge you for it. So you get, so please, guys, one of the easiest way to learn. Do you know the easiest way to learn in life? Do you guys know the easiest way to learn?
No.
Okay, let me tell you one of the easiest way to learn. Should I tell you my own motivation?
Okay. Yes, sir.
In the past, I used to think knowledge is my motivation. Of course, I'm still driven by knowledge. But recently, I discovered money is my motivation. Like, I'm not kidding. Don't let's deceive ourselves. If someone gives you a project and say, help me to do this thing, and the person does not pay, you do it grudgingly. You might not even remember to do it for the next 3 days. But then, just let the person say, oh, send your bank account. Then the person just mistakenly drop 50K. No, 50K is small. Just 50K in your account. You see the speed at which you finish that work. I don't know if you are getting me. So please start telling people now. Start telling people now that I'm a web developer. Like I can develop websites. Collect the money, charge the person well. You don't know how to charge the person. Let me know what the person wants. Then I'll tell you how much you should charge the person. Charge the person well. So I will guide you on how to do how to do the whole project. So start telling people, like, if you start laying your hands on projects now, you know those projects will bring new problems. And those new problems now will push you to learn new things. And that's how you become better at what you are doing. I'm not saying you should lie. Tell them you can do web development. You're already doing web development, even though you are an amateur. But don't go and tell them you're amateur. Nobody wants to give their work to amateur. Just tell them I'm a web developer. And they give you their project. Then you charge them. The minimum you should charge for now, the least I've charged in recent time, not for a website, though, for data analysis, is 40K. So if you're going to charge for a website, the minimum you should charge, since you're writing code, let's say 100K. Aside buying domain. So you spend maximum, you spend 30,000 naira on the project, they make profit of 70,000 naira, and you are still learning. So imagine when you finish learning, imagine how much you'll be charging. So let everybody become millionaires from now. So maybe next time I want to organize this type of class, I'll just ask all of you, hello everybody, we need 3 million. So you pay 500,000, you pay 500,000, you pay 500,000. If anybody does not pay, I'll come to your house. But I'm only kidding. But just tell people you do software development and let your journey begin now. So that's the end of today's class. If there's any question, please ask a question now.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome,
Thank you, sir. Can we get the recorded video for the previous classes?
It's on YouTube.
Okay, sir.
Just go to Google YouTube and check and search for Fibitech.
Okay.
So check the induction video and check the last class too, so that I can catch up on those things you've missed.
So when is our next class?
Our next class is on Monday, by God's grace.
Monday. We are still in CSS now.
We are still in CSS. Yes, we'll do a little bit of advanced CSS on Monday. Then on Thursday, we'll go to JavaScript.
Are you going to teach us Bootstrap?
I'm not going to touch Bootstrap. I don't use Bootstrap. Bootstrap is for lazy people.
No, but I told you, I have a friend of mine, and he do tell me sometimes that when you use Bootstrap, it makes your works faster. So yes. Now you are condemning it now. Do you know I learned Bootstrap one time? Now you have condemned me now. I'm not learning it again.
No, I'm not saying don't learn Bootstrap. I'm not saying don't learn Bootstrap. But then, if you learn Bootstrap, of course, there's no, I don't think there's, okay, even React has React Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is good. But then, it's for lazy people. There are some styling that you want to do that you can't do with Bootstrap. Virtually everything you need to do can be done with Bootstrap. But then, let's say you want to do some crazy styling and you're already used to Bootstrap, you won't be able to do it. You just limit yourself to what is available in Bootstrap. Bootstrap will make you lazy. But if you now write your own CSS, you write your own transition, your animation, and everything, then nothing can hold you back, no matter what. It is some guys that use CSS to create Bootstrap. I hope you know.
I don't know.
So it is CSS I used to write Bootstrap. So now you calling someone else's CSS when you can write your own from scratch. It's only maybe you have a deadline and it's too close for you to start writing style sheets. That's when I will advise you to use Bootstrap.
Okay.
So you are.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes.
So any other question?
Yes, there's a question. Thank you very much for the class. It was very interesting. A little recap on one of the tasks. I want to get information on how to call your CSS, like all these dots, second and hash.
Yes.
Then stuff like that.
Okay, hash. We use hash for ID. We use hash for ID. For example, you see where I use hash here. You see where I use hash. I said topmost. So we go back to our index.html now. You see, the only place I use topmost is when I use ID. So ID is what we use hash for. Then class. You see these boxes, for example, now. Come back here. Boxes. It is dots. So class is dots. ID is hash. Do you get it now?
Yeah, I get it now.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, in the absence of no other question, thank you very much for attending to this class. Please don't forget to repost that graphics I posted.
Thank you, sir.
So that I will not drain my bank account.
Sir, I'm in your DM already. I'm in your DM. Please, I want you to reply me. I want to say something.
Okay, I will reply you. And please, whoever can afford to send some distance to host this class, I beg, send them over so that we can, I won't get strained on the way and be like, hey, let's end this class here, Jerry. I want us to finish what we actually started. So thank you very much for attending to this class. I will see you on Monday. Then our assignment, sorry, there will be assignment. The assignment for today's class. Okay, I've given you one assignment before. Okay, prepare a colored assignment.
Yes,
a colored CV. Make it very beautiful. Let's have your picture and everything. Make it very beautiful and stylish. Go online and look for online CVs that are beautiful. Then prepare your own that makes sense like that. Then send it to your GitHub. Then comment the link to that place where you posted your assignment on the comment section of today's video on YouTube. Do you all get that? You get that, Abby?
Yes, no, sir. No, sir.
Okay, what I said is, I gave you a CV assignment before. Get that. Make the CV a more better CV than normal HTML CV now. Make it a colorful CV. Go online and search for beautiful CVs. Then write your CV instead of using Word or PowerPoint or Corel now. Use HTML and CSS to prepare that CV. Should have your picture, your name, your educational qualification, your experience, and all that. Do that CV, make it beautiful. Then push your code to your GitHub repo. Then the link to that GitHub now, use it to comment on the comment section of this video on YouTube. You get it?
Okay, sir.
So I will be expecting that on Sunday so I can check against Monday. So you guys have the whole of today, tomorrow, Saturday, then Sunday too. So you can post it Sunday evening so I can check before on the next class. So I can just pick out maybe 3 of them that are very beautiful.
Sir.
Ma?
I want to ask a question, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the first CV we are doing is just like a plain CV, right?
It's just like plain HTML, CSS. But if you do this one, you don't necessarily need to do that one again because you would have applied everything you learned in HTML and in CSS in this one. That was just to solidify our HTML knowledge. Okay. But then if you do this one, you've done both HTML and CSS. Okay. So you don't need to do the first one. You can just use the second one alone.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Welcome. Then you can actually host that CV on GitHub. so that there will be a URL for anybody that wants to ask for your CV later. You can just send them the URL. So when they click on the URL, they see that CV, like a whole page for you. Be like, github.com/ let me use someone's name now. Yeah. Oluwafumilayo. Hope you are not Kuti, because the first one is Oluwafumilayo Kuti. So it can be github.com/Oluwafumilayo Kuti/CV. Something like that. So you can easily send to an employer that asks for your CV. So check for how to deploy your HTML file on GitHub. But then I'll still teach you in the next class how to do that.
Okay, sir.
So let's close today's class because our time is already fast spent. So see you guys in the next class. God bless you.
Amen. And
weekend.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.